Hello everyone, and welcome to this series on the chakras, where I'm going to give you the information that I have learned within myself regarding the different centers. We'll start with the root chakra and make our way up, but today in this video I'm just going to give you a brief outline about what the chakras even are and how we can begin to look at them as a way to live the life that we really want to live. And I'm going to use a very simple example that all of us can understand. So when we look at the crown chakra, it's like we are opening up to the cosmos, like we're opening up to the universal intelligence that this entire creation flows upon, and we're learning to receive from it. You can think of that as your soul, your higher self, God, whatever name you need to give it, source, creator, creation, infinite intelligence, whatever. But you're opening yourself up to the cosmos, to the divine, and you're learning to receive from it. And so as we receive from the divine and open up in this space, then we can bring it down through our third eye for our translation. As we bring it through the third eye, we can learn to perceive this world for what it is without getting entangled in it. So we have the consciousness of the divine, and we're learning to perceive it through our physical bodies. We're learning to perceive the non-physical from the standpoint of the physical, while bringing it through the physical. And once we bring it through the third eye, we can then begin to bring it through our throat. And we can begin to express the ideas we're having from up here that we're downloading from the cosmos, and we can bring them through into communication, like this video, like letters that you write, through videos you make yourself, through little posts on Instagram, whatever it is. But you're bringing through your divine inspiration down through your throat for communication. Now, once we bring it down to the throat, we might want to infuse our heart into our expression, because our heart is like the middle ground. Our heart is like the trees on this planet. It's like the grass on this planet. It's the middle ground between creation, idea, and reality. So it's the reality, but then you have the divine, you have the physical merging together for the balanced creation. Thinking about it like this, that we bring our inspiration through from the divine, we translate it through our third eye, and then we communicate it through our throat. If we don't have our heart infused, if we don't have that balance, that love, that warmth that this planet radiates, if we don't have that inclusion that the heart offers, then a lot of the times the throat can be very harsh or very weird or very chaotic. It may appear that way to others because you haven't infused the gentleness, you haven't infused the inclusion or the warmth that the heart offers. So activating the heart is so important for living a life, not of just of well-being, but of cooperation. Because a lot of the times, again, the throat can almost seem like you're just going full-headed by yourself, and you might scare off people, and people might get offended by you very easily. And I think if we actually look around at a lot of the people that we know in life, those who are really big achievers, a lot of the time their throat chakra is very active. But if they seem to be very kind of hard-headed and they don't really consider anyone else and they just want to go full force and facts are facts and there's no feelings or whatever, a lot of the time they have no access to the heart and there's no depth to their life. But the heart brings depth. The throat almost brings expression of ideas. The heart infuses those ideas with beautiful emotions and profound depth. So again, open up to the cosmos through the crown, bring that through translation through the third eye, and helps us also translate our physical experience through expression, through communication, through the throat and different ideas. Then we move into the heart, where the union, where the warmth and inclusion comes into play, where that divine quality of love comes into play. And of course, the heart can also be very entangling because it's so profound that it can almost, you can become lost in it. And that's why the lower chakras become very important. So then we move into the solar plexus. In my experience, I feel that the solar plexus has to do with building things in the physical world. So whether that be a business, even a family, a brand, an identity, an education, whatever it is, when it comes to building something in physical life, solar plexus is very important. That's what I'm realizing for myself. Even as I move forward with my business and my own ideas and my writing and everything, I'm beginning to feel this space become more and more active. Sacral. Sacral, for me, in my experience, is all about bringing life into this planet. I've heard someone like Sadhguru say that it can become, you can bring the divine through this space, or you can bring a physical life in this space, and you can do everything in between. I don't have too much experience here or understanding right now, but as I do, I'll bring more forward. And then we have the root. And the root is everything that we need to know if we want to build these up higher. So the root gives us the roots into the planet. And this is the example I mentioned at the beginning that I'm going to use to explain the chakra system in a more simple way. So if you can think of yourself as a tree, the only difference between you and a tree is that a tree is almost always helpful. But the actual real difference between us and a tree is that we have the movement. We have the opportunity to move freely and act freely, think freely, and be who we wish to be freely. Where a tree is just a tree. They're rooted where they're rooted and they're not moving from there. They can communicate, they can help, they can breathe, they can do all these beautiful things, but they can't move and create realities the way we can. Their very presence creates realities and cleans reality. But we can go and create what we wish and act how we wish and have this beautiful expression through these bodies with the freedom to do what we wish with it. Whereas a tree is just a tree. But thinking of yourself like this, when this becomes activated through the third eye, when the crown becomes activated, it is like your branches are soaring higher and higher and higher and higher into the cosmos, into the sky, becoming more and more intricate. Each leaf is becoming more intricate. Each design, each color, everything is just flowing beautifully higher and higher and higher. But if you as a tree do not bring your roots into the planet, then this will be tipped over with any little wind. And that means that when you open up this space, any little thought, any little emotion, any little disturbance can make you lose your mind, quite literally. And so when it comes to the spiritual process, it's so important to remain grounded. And that's something that I learned sometimes the hard way, truly, because I would go into my meditations and have these experiences where I would just disappear. Like who I thought I was would disappear. It would just dissolve. And I'll come back and it would be very subtle and gentle. And then I would get engaged in something that is just so distracting and negative or whatever. And I would feel just my thoughts and emotions would just flow in ways that I could never have imagined before, because life becomes so much more sensitive, so much more vivid, so much more intense. And so the negative becomes so much more negative. The positive becomes so much more positive. But that balance is where it's at. So finding that balance is key. So anyways, I say again, as we open up more of these centers, these higher centers in the body, we have to make sure that our roots are going deeper. We have to. We really do. And that's why things like breathwork exercises and ayahuasca, especially, like people doing these sacred plants, which are sacred plants and beautiful opportunities, they're medicine. But when they become relied on and when they become done so much, mushrooms, weed, and all these things, it can be so easy to topple over. It can be so easy for these roots to just disappear and this tree just topples over. Really. So ensuring that you are conscious that you must be just as grounded as you are expansive. It's so important. And I will discuss in the next few videos how we can make sure that we are grounded, how we can learn to touch our heart, and how we can learn to expand and then bring those ideas through the throat. Like I said, I'm going to make this a series, so whether it's weekly or monthly, I'm going to be dropping videos regarding the other chakras through our school community exclusively. I think I'll put this video out on the YouTube channel, the school community, and everywhere as well, so that people can see what we're going to be talking about. And if you'd like to see for yourself, come join us. You can try for 2 weeks, and if you don't like it, you get 100% of your money back, no problem. But I'm really looking to help others expand into the cosmos, while taking their roots deeper and deeper into the earth so that they don't topple over, but instead they become a boon for humanity. See you in the next video.